Hi guys, Tugu here with a new video, and I've been testing 10.1 on the PTR for the classes that I'm actually planning to main. So I made a video about the best classes to main in 10.1, so if you want to check that out, you can check that out. But I kind of give away the classes that I'm planning to main going into 10.1. Of course, it can always change. If I feel like I'm kind of misjudging a spec or a class, then of course I'm going to switch. But for now, I'm on my Shaman, which is 100% going to be a main class I'm going to play. I'm going to make an Enhancement Shaman 10.1 PvP guide, probably the first week of PvP of 10.1. So we have also a bit of algorithm on our way, but also Elemental Shaman. I'm going to speak about Enhancement Shaman today, and tomorrow I'm going to talk about Elemental Shaman. And I will say that the title kind of gives away what I'm going to say right now. Enhancement Shaman is going to be and feeling busted going into 10.1. I'm going to give you some reasoning behind it. I'm not going to clickbait you into like saying that Enhancement Shaman is going to be busted without giving you evidence behind that. So I'm going to talk about the first few changes. If I have to take the Wotlk blue post, whatever, I can also do that. But I think I'm going to show you some visual things because I was trying and learning how Enhancement Shaman will be in 10.1, and I'm super excited. The good things about Enhancement Shaman is you will probably be playing specs or comps outside of Turbo. Turbo is going to be still a very good comp for you in 3v3. In 2v2 you can also be quite good, to be honest. I'm going to also give you some evidence to that. And in social fall you're going to be very bursty. I think you will do insane damage and more than you would think, more than you would actually feel. I think that's actually a very good thing to have. I'm going to do something. Classic numbers can be enabled, and I'm going to change my settings because I like to see some great damage numbers. So I want to talk about one thing that they added on the blue post, and people actually glossed over like it was nothing, but Flame Shock now is super worth it to press as Enhancement Shaman. You give Dispel protection on your Flame Shock, which is insane if you're thinking about a Lava Lash build. I'm not even playing Lava Lash build right now, but this is going to be very worth to do, especially if you're building Mastery. If they are dispelling your Flame Shock, it will probably going to chunk a whole lot of them, and a Retribution Paladin going to play the Judgment Dispel is not going to be a great option for them anymore. So your Flame Shock is on a 5.2 second CD. Of course, I'm building haste, I think, or a good chunk of haste. So it is lowered, but I think it's 6 seconds. I don't know. But 6 second CD on a Flame Shock, which is going to give you some Dispel protection, which is actually awesome if you play or plan to play Shadow Priest, Enhancement Shaman, or Affliction Warlock, Enhancement Shaman, or anything that actually needs their dots to be keep on thinking, like for example Boomy, so you have double Dispel protection, which is going to be quite nutty. And this alone will give you options to actually play other comps than just Turbo. So that's a fantastic thing. I actually do look forward to play that. That's not only the only thing that is going to make like 10.1 a great like patch for Enhancement Shaman. You also get a defensive, which is Burrow, but people do forget about the second part of Burrow doing 71k physical damage, which if you're playing like the build that I'm playing, a physical damage dealing like spec with Feral Spears giving you some great physical damage buff to yourself, you're going to pretty much hit like a truck, and if it crits, you might just chunk some HP. Again, it seems like 71k is like meh, but the good part is you become unattackable and you remove movement impairing effects, which is like for example slow or even a root. And you also get an increase in your movement speed by 50%. And if you're playing with Spirit Walk, you will have 2 anti-root and anti-slow effects that you can actually give to yourself. So you're going to be very sticky. So again, PTR, I did a bit of testing in the damage dealing proportions. We will have to test it in the arenas, but my prediction is Enhancement Shaman will be very strong, and I'm actually a bit afraid of getting a nerf. Their healing is quite good as well. The only thing that is going to be a bit different is, of course, in arenas you have dampening, which 100% is going to hurt you. But the good thing is you're not going to get Maelstrom and use it for healing. What you want to play is actually Stormweaver, which every time you're going to use your Maelstrom weapon stacks for any other things than healing, for example, Elemental Blast or a Chain Lightning, which is going to be a very staple spell with your tier set, but also Lightning Bolt. And every time you're going to use that, you will have the same kind of stacks, but a Stormweave stack, which you can use it for healing spells only, which is again going to be very good. And maybe there is a place and a way that you can actually press Chain Heal instead of Healing Surge. It is a lesser heal, but the good thing is that if you're playing a cleave like Turbo, if you're pressing Chain Heal, it is kind of like a Chain Harvest, but you cannot spam it all the time. And if you played Shadowlands, Chain Harvest was actually very nice because you did some damage with your Chain Harvest and you did some healing with your Chain Harvest. And it wasn't long CD, it was like 1.5 minute CD, or if you had like the legendary with the Flame Shock ticks, which crits, and your legendary of Chain Harvest going to be reduced because of Flame Shock ticks. That is going to make you a 1 minute Chain Harvest. But now, instead of that, you have Chain Heal that you can spam with those Stormweave stacks. And you also have the damage proportions with your Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt, and Elemental Blast, which is, again, a very good thing. I think you are going to spend Stormweave 100%. Just in general, all the time to actually sustain yourself, but also do damage. And mana-wise, that's still a problem, but I think you still have to be hampered on the mana, or else you will not be dying, right? Except for high dampening games. We also have Shamanism now, which is still something that we had before, but now you have Heroism of GCD. So it means like now I'm going to press Heroism. It is going to not like the GCD thing, so you can basically put it with Doom Winds, you can put it with Ascendance, whatever you want to actually put it together in a macro, it is going to work. And you're going to say, but look, it's only a GCD, what does it matter? Enhancement Shaman is GCD starved. Any GCD you can actually spare is going to be very useful for pressing Healing Surge, pressing Chain Heal, pressing Chain Lightning, pressing Storm Strike, pressing another ability like Feral Spirit, Ascendance, and actually like have your damage going faster. And a second doesn't seem much, but it is really much. It's also making the spec more smooth. And I wish they actually put Ascendance of GCD, but I think if you put Ascendance, Doom Winds, and like Heroism into one macro, it might be too strong. But again, the more GCDs we can spare, the better. So that's a good thing. So you will have comps where you can play with Heroism, and basically you can play Affliction Warlock, Enhancement Shaman. You can also play Elemental Shaman, by the way, but I think Enhancement Shaman is going to be quite neat. Enhancement Shaman, Affliction Warlock with a Disc Priest, which is a very versatile comp. And you will be able to, of course, they're going to train the Affliction Warlock, which gives you enough time to do your hexes, to do the sunderings, the lightning lassos, whatever, to actually have a lot of damage. But also you can put Heroism on your Affliction Warlock, which then is going to go crazy with Rapid Contagion. Again, buffs, but also nerfs on the duration, and they're going to probably destroy people. As Elemental Shaman, you cannot give 20% haste to your Affliction Warlock. And if you have a Disc Priest, and the Disc Priest PIs the Affliction Warlock, and you have Heroism and you put that on your Warlock, I mean, something is going to die at that moment, especially with Deathbolt, if they are going to play with that in 10.1. So that is a great thing. You also have a good amount of like passive damage with Ride the Lightning, which is also quite nice, but I think it really depends if you have like space to actually use it in your PvP talents. And there's one thing that I really like is Seasoned Winds. And it sounds dumb, but interrupting a spell with Wind Shear decreases the damage taken from that spell school. So imagine you're going to do that on a Frost Mage or a Destruction Warlock on Chaos spell, then you're reduced by 50% for everything for 18 seconds, and it can stack up to 3 times. So a 45% damage reduction, that seemed quite strong. So I think there are some matchups where you're going to play season wins, feel super tanky, and they don't know how to do anything. Of course, I can't really test it on PTR. I guess I can maybe test it if I find someone, but nobody really wanted to do for that. So I think it's 18 seconds times 3, or it is 15% times 3, and then it's going to be very busted. So I don't think it will stay. I think it's too strong at that balance of wind shear, but if it stays, it's going to be very strong. And then of course you have the usual suspects. Your off heals are going to be nice, your damage is going to be nice, and now the only thing that you can have, which is not very good, is actually getting stunned and dying to stuns. Now they gave us Burrow, they gave us the ability to heal ourselves with the damage that we are going to do with Stormweaver. We have heroism of GCD. We have ways to survive outside of that with some good off heals. So maybe we will be in an acceptable form where we would be strong enough and like healthy enough to actually survive damage, but also do damage. Now that we will have to test in 10.1. The good thing is about Enhancement Shaman is we are not very affected by the crit changes because we are not building crit. Of course, doing an elemental blast crit is going to be feeling good. It's still going to be feeling good, but it is not going to be mandatory to actually do the damage. I think we are one of the winners for 10.1 at least, because we are not affected to that in comparison with Elemental Shaman. Enhancement Shaman, whenever you crit, it does feel good, but it is not mandatory. And we do a lot of small crits, so it is not going to be like feeling gimped compared to a Elemental Shaman or a Destruction Warlock or whatever. So that is my opinion about like the theory about Enhancement Shaman being good in 10.1. Now I'm going to show you the tier set. This is going to be mandatory to take. Remember, everything is reduced by 50% in PvP. Of course, they can always do some balancing here and there. So Sundering is going to give you 12% mastery. Remember, mastery is increasing your damage of nature school spells, fire school spells, and also frost school, which is all 3 of them going to affect elemental blast. So that's also very nice. But the most important thing for me is nature damage. We have that. So we have 12%. And then you have Sundering increasing your physical and fire damage. Again, fire damage, so Lava Lash is going to be crazy, but I'm talking about the build I'm saying. But Lava Lash is going to be crazy. Remember that. So we have 10% increased damage of physical and fire damage. So Storm Strike, Lava Lash, even Elemental Blast, since it is also fire damage, so it's going to be crazy. And then you have your next 2 Chain Lightnings cost deal 50% increased damage, because again, reduced by 2, divided by 2, and refunds 25% of Maelstrom weapon stacks consumed. We have a talent, a spec talent, which is 20% chance to refund Maelstrom weapon stacks spent on Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning, and sometimes you will be feeling like you have multiple stacks of 10 Maelstrom weapons where you will always be replenished and you will always have some kind of damage. It is very RNG, but remember, if your RNG is very good, it means also very good off heals with your healing surge on yourself. And then you have also the 20% increased damage on Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning from Thorin's Invocation, which is now very worth to take, to be honest. And this is the build I'm playing in 10.0.7, but I think in 10.1 I will play this. I will also play the Lava Lash build because the Dispel Protection is going to be huge. And there's also a way or a reason to play around Primordial Wave, and maybe without Feral Spirit, so you could take Primordial Wave into Splintered Elements, and then you take maybe Deeply Rooted Elements with Static Accumulation, Tormentification to have huge amounts of damage. We will have to test all the things in 10.1, but we have this, and you are going to be like hallucinating of the damage I'm going to do. So we're going to hit the training dummy real quick. I'm going to put myself like the buffs. Do I have the items that are necessary? All right, I have the items. So if we hit Flame Shock, we get our PvP stack. We are 423 eye level, so it will be even higher in 10.1 with our new stuff. And you see the short set is nerfed in PvP, so it is also like written like this. So if you want to do damage, basically you want to build your Maelstrom. You can put your Feral Spirits already on the target, and you can even do a bit of a elemental blast here and there. And if you want to burst, you put your doom winds with your heroism, and then you're going to basically do sundering into chain lightning, and something is going to die. I mean, I'm already overkilling, and then you get a proc, and then never mind, man, somebody's just dead. Like, you have to call the police right now. Somebody is getting murdered, gunning down by something called a Enhancement Shaman. And I can't really show the combat log, I guess, because I think we have to go a bit further. Wait, we have to wait for the things. Okay, so we started with flame shocks, melee, and then I'm going to look for the damage that I did on chain lightning, if I can search it. Wind fury, storm strike, wind fury, chain lightning. So we come on, man, unlock this, please. So my chain lightning did 255k critical on the training dummy. On the PvP dummy, because again, I think it hits the PvE one crit. On the PvP dummy, we did 125k. Now, if it critted, it would be 200k, something like that, because it is nerfed in PvP, so it's not like ×2. But it is still a lot of damage, because again, we are never hitting chain lightning, but now we are going to do that. And versus cleaves, we are going to chain kill people, and this is going to get nerfed, but I hope not, because again, we deserve some kind of light into, like, some brightness in our life. Here, chain lightning, we did a 170k crit. I don't know if it was a 10 stacks maelstrom or if it was a bit less, but the damage is there. The damage is really there. The damage is going to be very noticeable as well. Elemental blast also doing some 240k, and that is nerfed in PvP as well. So we're going to do some insane damage, and that is going to be very nice, and I'm looking forward to, because I think being able to play something else outside of the usual turbo is going to be liberating for Enhancement Shaman, but also for other classes. I think they will feel like Enhancement Shaman has some place in the meta, and we are going to probably go into A tier, and I'm going to predict even S tier, and I might be wrong, because maybe they are going to do some balancing changes, or maybe like stun locking us into death is going to be a factor, which I think not, because we have tools to survive. And again, if you can survive the damage, you have multiple things that can help you into surviving, like just encounter. And I tested warrior, I tested affliction warlock, I tested destruction warlock. I think Enhancement Shaman has the highest burst potential, and even like some consistent damage. Sundering becomes your new cooldown to do damage. It is going to be insane, like crackling thunder, volcanic strength, and just mastery. That's a stat overload, and no way it's going to stay like that. But I promise you, if you do not see a nerf coming into 10.1, just play Enhancement Shaman, have fun. Of course, again, this is counting with in mind having the 4 set, which is probably going to be 6 weeks into 10.1. So again, if it's not like 10.1 yet, if you don't have the 4 set yet, maybe you can play another spec, or you do not press chain lightning. But chain lightning is going to be something that you're going to press whenever you get a sundering. If you're doing sundering when you're bursting, that's the moment where you're going to say, you are dead, man, you are destroyed, and that is going to be a good feeling. Again, I think having extra CDs to play around outside of Doomwind is going to give us some good agency to do damage. And remember, I'm talking about this spec. If you're playing like a Lava Lash build, you're still going to destroy people. You're still going to be like a destruction of people, of leaves, just with the sole purpose and sole existence of your spec, which is a good thing. And we do not have to be OP though. I do not want to be OP, but I think we will have to test it in 10.1 with the 4 set as well, and do some soul shuffles, 3v3, 2v2 and RPGs, and see for ourselves if it's going to be a great spec or not. my prediction and what I feel, and from what I see, I think we are going to be S tier or A tier minimum. And being able to play multiple comps is going to be, it's a blessing, man. As an Enhancement Shaman, you're going to feel like you're playing a huge expansion. And they might rework a few things, or they might just change a few things. But I think if the idea behind the spec is staying, I think it's going to be quite nice to play. So again, please let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about Enhancement Shaman. Are you excited? Are you looking forward to? Personally, I'm excited for 10.1. I'm excited for the CC change. I'm excited for the crit change. You're going to say, oh, you're excited for the CC change, you're a noob. Guys, I'm not like, maybe I'm a noob for you guys or rank ones, but I'm all for the game evolving into a more popular game mode, which is PvP, and have more people. And if the crit change and the CC change is going to help you get more games in, get more healers, get more PvEers going into PvP, for me this is a huge win. So I hope you guys see in the same vision of me, like game wise, what you want from the game. If you want to have like a dead game, or if you want to have an ever evolving game with more and more people, which is for me option number 2, the best that you can have for World of Warcraft. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Tomorrow we will speak about Elemental Shaman, which I'm also super excited. Again, you are going to see how excited I'm going to be for Elemental Shaman. Again, thank you. Have a great day. Be sure to stay safe. We will catch each other very soon in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.